out getting a parking ticket.
That's the best part about it. And try not to catch a felony. They're handing them out at the reflection pool.
Oh, yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah. We got out of it, but it was dicey. No, not that. Not that ticket of parking.
We were here 10 minutes and parked in the wrong place.
Now we're Ubering.
Look at the water. Oh, that's cute. It's like a Capitol Theater to me. Not me. Canada.
Oh, yes, yes.
You'd be surprised how many theaters we have. Only 2. Actually 3. Even considered tall for around his time. The buildings back then were only 3 to 4 stories tall. You can only imagine what they would think of New York. Now, why are buildings short here? Well, apart from his idea, but it was also a law that was placed in 1899. A law came in, the Height of Buildings Act. Really straightforward. No structure in DC would exceed 130 feet in a non-residential area, and within a residential area, nothing would exceed 90. And then in 1910, that was changed. Now they measure the width of the street, and then you add 20 feet to it. Now, if they were measuring in centimeters, you would have skyscrapers today. And so, I'll point out when we hop over. I'll point out once we hop from one side of the city to the other. Now, up here on your left, this is the FBI headquarters. This is the J. Edgar Hoover building. Anyone know who he was?
First director of the FBI?
He sure was, the very first director. Now, does anyone know the range of how long he was in office for? A rough estimate. Throw out a number. How many years?
30.
A little bit more.
50.
Less.
35.
40.
40 something. He was about 44 years in power.
Wow.
Now many ask why so long. Well, there's a saying that goes around is he had enough blackmail on presidents to last him a lifetime.
Wow.
And he was already old by the time he went into office, which is why he was only there for 40 something years. Now, over there on your left, that is the Navy Memorial. The water there comes from 7 different seas and oceans that they have to bring in constantly. You can only imagine what nightmare they go through at the airport. Now, over on the other side, that is the National Archives. And there you'll find the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, a copy of the Magna Carta, and various other articles. Now, if you've seen National Treasure, this was Nicolas Cage broke into. Now, quick little fact about me. I'm a DC native. I was born and raised in the city. I'll get to why that's important. If you guys look at these, this building right here where they have railings, people rent these spaces out for inauguration. Now we'll touch up on the idea of why I brought that up. The best place to watch inauguration is from home.
No doubt.
Where you control the temperature and the people around you. If you don't like your sibling, you can always push them off the couch. Then this right here is the Canadian Embassy.
I had a little ticket to me.
Now, this right here is General George Gordon Meade. Does anyone know who he was?
Nope.
He was a general during the Civil War, and his biggest role was in the Battle of Gettysburg. So he was very well known for defeating Robert E. Lee in that war. That battle. Which is why he gets gold up there. I'm surprised it's still there though. It tells you the type of city we are. Now, over there to your left, that is the Department of Labor. You don't like your job, you're in the right city to complain about it. Now, that is the Frances Perkins building. It is named after her. What was that?
I'm sorry, we're watching the squirrel run across the middle of the road.
It's named after her. She was the first woman appointed to a presidential cabinet. So we marked that milestone with naming the building that she took over.
Oh. And tell me the name of it again.
Francis.
Francis Perkins.
Yep. Anyone want to guess which president it was under? See if you know your presidents.
Roosevelt.
Which one?
The first.
Nope.
Franklin.
Franklin. It was under FDR. Now, up here we have the Capitol. This is where Congress meets, because if I say work, that is an overstatement. Now, I think the light will be green for them.
This parking lot says permit. This is where we were. This is where
Oh, you guys got a ticket here.
No, not a
No.
ticket.
Almost. We just got yelled
I got a
at.
stern talking to.
Man, I used to be able to park here all the time. Now, this on your right is the Capitol reflection pool. Typically, it smells really bad.
There it is.
And it smells really bad today. Congress is in session.
I love it. Ah, it smells like sewer.
Oh, all the sheriff's gonna
Oh, shit's coming out of it.
The smell usually is what they're talking about inside. Now, here we have the yard where inauguration happens. So, hopefully you have your cameras out. Now, on the left is the Senate. On the right side, you'll have the House of Representatives. You'll see both flags are up, and at the same time, they're at half-mast. As if I'm not mistaken, that is still at half-mast because of Lindsey Graham. Now, where you guys see those pillars and the black railing, that leads into Speaker of the House Mike Johnson's office. He's the only person who gets an office above ground in the Capitol. Everyone else gets theirs below ground. Now, you have the rotunda, which is about 18 stories tall. It weighs in at 8.9 million pounds, and it was built in 1866. Now, it is fully made of cast iron. Then eventually every other Capitol decided to copy us. We're the original. Now, you'll see the black flag underneath the one, or the one in the middle. That is the prisoner of war or missing in action flag as well. Now, over on the other side over here, the man on the horse, that is Ulysses S. Grant, who was the president for us as well as a general. Now, he was considered to be a 6-star general. Now, typically, those are kind of handed out after death. For example, there's only 3 men who received it: John J. Pershing, Ulysses S. Grant, and can anyone guess the last one?
George Washington.
George Washington.
Look at you.
Now, why do they get handed after people die? Well, nobody or everybody didn't want somebody to outrank George Washington, so he was the only one appointed during him being alive.
Hi! Well, are y'all just trying to...
Now, man on the statue right here, this is James Garfield. Here's our 20th president, as well as unfortunately being one of 4 who were assassinated. But these 3 statues below him represent his career paths, as he was a teacher, a general, and a president. Now, he was also a Congress member. And if we had a statue for every Congress member, we would have no more space for statues in DC. It's not like they do much anyways. So, right, this is the Air and Space Museum. And there you'll find the Wright brothers' first airplane. It's a really nice one. And then you also have the Apollo 11. Now many ask me, how did we get the footage of the moon landing? And I always have one answer for them, and it's always E.T. was up there for us. Now, this on your left, these two buildings make up the Department of Transportation. And they're named after the Wright brothers. So this is the Wilbur Wright building, and that's the Orville Wright building. And over there on the Orville one is where you find the FAA. Now you'll see this big poster about the Indy car race. The more you go on this tour, the more you'll realize these streets are not meant to race on.
Different than F1.
This one right here, this is the Institute of Art. Then behind it you'll see the Smithsonian Castle, and underneath it you'll find the Museum of African Art. You'll see the Smithsonian Castle, which is the very first one they decided to build. The top floor had a lot of James Smithson's belongings, who was the man responsible on why we have the Smithsonians today. And it actually caught fire, so we lost a lot of his belongings, his diaries, his journals. So kind of left with a really big mystery about who he really was in depth. But James Smithson was a British man who never saw America a day in his life. Makes you question how we got a museum collection out of him. Well, he left his money to the government. You might ask what idiotic thing to do. But the reason he left his money to the government in his will, originally the money was supposed to go to his nephew's grandchildren, or his nephew's children. And if his nephew didn't have children, it would go to the government. Why the government? Well, if he didn't have another beneficiary, the money would go to his brother, who happened to be royalty as well as James Smithson. But the issue was that James Smithson did not get the title, the land, or anything that came with it. His brother did. So he was kind of jealous about that, and he left the money to somebody else apart from him. So because of that, we have a really interesting museum collection today, which is very well known. And if I'm not mistaken, we have about 20 museums, which isn't a lot. But most of them are here in DC. Then up here on your left, you'll find the Washington Monument. It stands at 555 feet tall, and it set the record for being the tallest structure in the world from 1884 to 1889. Anyone want to guess what broke the record afterwards? And we'll start with throwing away the Empire State Building guess. It's a bad one. 1889.
Wait.
No, you said on the board.
When was that?
Yeah, that's probably.
The Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower broke the record and doubled it. But if it's anything we have over the French, no, this is the African American. The Holocaust is just a little bit further down.
I knew we saw it last time.
But if it's anything we had over the French, was our museums never got robbed. Not only that, have you ever seen us lose a war? I think the French are very well known for their white flag. But you'll see that a third of the way up, There's a difference in bricks. That is because we had to put a pause on construction somewhere in the 1850s because we ran out of money, material, and then we went into the Civil War. The construction picked up after the 1870s, so 22 years, somewhere in there. And when we picked up, the bricks had already changed colors after 20-something years. You don't expect it to remain the same. And so Ulysses S. Grant, who was the president in office, asked Congress to give him money to finish it, and they gave him about $250,000 to finish it, which is how it stands today. So we have a couple of minutes here in case you guys like to hop out and get a few pictures of it.
Hard to lose from rain.
Just checked. It was supposed to rain going into Wednesday.
Hopefully.
Now this right here is the Holocaust Memorial Museum. Then the following one tends to be everybody's favorite. Only because this is where they make the money. The Mint or the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. That over there on your right is the Jefferson Memorial. Now, has anyone here ever taken a trip to Rome?
Yes, we loved it.
Now, can you recall which structure this one's inspired by that's in Rome?
The Parthenon.
Nope, that's the one in Greece, but you're on the right.
Oh, shut up.
You're on the right idea.
Not the Colosseum. That's the main.
Nope. You have. It sounds very similar to the Parthenon, the Pantheon.
Oh, my bad. I was like, no, we saw it.
Pantheon. So, this was inspired by the Pantheon in Rome. This was built in 1943. Now, it looked very different. Why? This is American. Every time we try to copy something, it never turns out the way it's supposed to be. Now, like mentioned, finished in 1943, and that's when it opened up. One big flaw, though. We were in the middle of World War II, and we needed the bronze. So, you can kind of guess where I'm going with this. The statue was fully made of plaster until 1947. That's funny. Now, this bridge that I'm about to go over is one of the few bridges that that has gates under that open up whether the tide is high or low, and I'll point out the other one later on. So this one right here opens down into the Washington Canal that leads by the wharf. Now, DC is very well known for their cherry blossoms. As a tour guide, I hate it. As a tourist, I love it. There's always two sides to things. Now, prior to construction of the Jefferson Memorial, people actually protested the location that they chose, only because they had to get rid of some of the cherry blossom trees. And so, because of that, the way that they protested, they actually tied themselves to those trees. Now, it is July 20th, 2026. You tell me how efficient that was. Now.
So he was looking at the White House with why?
He's looking at the White House as he's watching over who is in office at all times to prevent tyranny from happening, as his main argument in the Declaration of Independence was consent of the governed. As how do we want to be ruled over, knowing we already got out of that? Now,
I could tell what he was looking at, but I was like,
here we are. This is what I refer to as the best view of the monument.
yeah.
And on one side you have the monument, on the other side you have the Pentagon over there. Ladies, you might even see the Macy's first. Now, that's Virginia, that's DC. You can see how close it is.
Really?
Yep. So we kind of sit right in the middle.
And Pentagon is that broad building with the flag kind of in the foreground?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
You get something on board that looks like
the Potomac River used to be really wide that we had to narrow it down. It used to go from the end over there that you see into the other side where you see the monument today. That's how wide it used to be. Imagine having to swim it all the way across. But eventually we narrowed it down by building land to kind of pinch it in. And that's why I mentioned the gates that open. So this other bridge is that has the other gate. And so that being said, the land that everything is on this side is all man-made. So because of that, some of the structures here are actually sinking. So the Jefferson itself is one of those. It's actually sinking the fastest. Because if you can't tell, that's one heavy memorial. Now, a very oddly specific fact that I happen to know. 3 presidents swam the Potomac River naked. Let's see if you guys can guess them.
Bill
John Quincy Adams.
Not Bill Clinton.
I figured it would be him.
But what was your guess?
John Quincy Adams.
He's one of them.
John Quincy.
There's one man you should know. He's very well known for the wilderness.
Roosevelt.
Yep, Teddy Roosevelt. One more. You got the last to do it and you got the first to do it. That means in between there's somebody. Give you a hint, he's on the 20 bill.
Jackson.
Jackson. Andrew Jackson, which is really weird hobbies that they all had. Where's this guy in the middle?
Craig.
Now I see why.
And you wouldn't wash your lips properly. What? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? You're gonna comment on that.
Good thing you guys are in
To look for. Alright, you're on the other side. Alright, yeah.
Now, when we hop onto the Arlington Memorial Bridge, you're not going to hear a word I'll say. So, once we hop on the bridge, on your right, further away, you'll be able to see the cathedral. It's the second largest in the United States, and it's home to us. And over there, you can see Georgetown University, which is those spiky buildings at the end. Then down the left side is the south part of the Potomac River, which leads to where a lot of the planes take off and land into the Ronald Reagan Airport, as every other part that has land in the area is no-fly zone.
So they all have to come over the Potomac?
Yep, landing and taking off.
Yep.
And then enjoy the view. The sunset's really nice. So this is as close as we'll be able to get. If you guys like to quickly hop out and get a better picture than from being inside the car, feel free to do so. You get a great view of DC. Yeah, I'd watch the hat. They tend to fall off. Strong man right there.
That I got. If you like, I got that big. Yeah. I'll bet you. Get it good. Sure. Yeah. I thought Marley
Now this right here is John Erickson, who is the man responsible for the screw propeller, as he was a civil engineer during the Civil War. So he gets this little isolated statue over here. And if you stand right next to him, it looks like he's staring you down. This shit looks a little mad. At least we can do is make him look happy. And so now we're just gonna head right on up to Lincoln. We'll have to 8:40, so that's about 35 minutes for you guys to check it out.
Someone's only like 1 year old. The Lincoln statue can be seen between the middle columns on the front side.
marijuana. They want to play in that field.
So as we make our way back through Independence, we will get a really great view over the bridge where you'll be able to see kind of a long shot view of Jefferson. And it makes up a really great view, so you guys know when you see it.
When all the grandkids live on the road.
What's that?
That's not where you go in.
Look. Oh.
This is the bridge I was referring to. You'll see Jefferson all the way on the right.
Don't drop your phone. Oh, it's nice. We don't like people since we're not.
We did it consciously.
Yes.
For crowds.
Yeah.
Now the next thing we'll see will be the World War II Memorial.
Mine's at 60.
Oh, look at that acre.
Oh, wow.
So this is World War II. My favorite view of everything we've seen so far. And you'll get to see why.
Oh, wow.
And it'd be a lot better if there weren't this many people right here.
Can you get it?
I'm just doing video.
Which one?
Right here.
This one? This is the Daughters of the American Revolution Society, which is also a museum. So they have two buildings, the Memorial Continental Hall and the Constitutional Hall, which is down that way. Now, society is fully ran, owned, and maintained by women. The number one requirement to enter is that you must be related to somebody who supported or fought in the American Revolution. And it takes years of research that even the society helps you with it.
getting there.
A little bit.
But I know we have snacks too, so if I have to just be helpful.
I'm more thirsty tonight.
Now this will be the only view we get of the White House, so please enjoy it, even though there's a huge tarp in front of it.
Drop hat. Your Trump's on there, you got all Democrats on there, you got the Republicans on there, need a hat?
So you guys let me know we're ready to go.
Trump hats.
Well, they still got the fences up around the White House.
Everywhere. I think you said they were up more than they're not.
Really?
They are.
Well, it's like I definitely know. That's right down here. But you're right, you see that crane over there? I saw that cheesecake there. Do what?
One plate.
Not you. Any Mario. Open for another